The ambitious Cascadia Pacific Northwest Rail Corridor Plan. A group of Democratic leaders in Washington state is making a bold call for federal assistance in funding a transformative high-speed rail project known as the Cascadia High-Speed Rail. This ambitious proposal envisions a rail network capable of reaching speeds of up to 250 miles per hour, connecting major cities from Canada to Oregon. The project's potential impact on the Pacific Northwest region has prompted Washington's congressional delegation to send a compelling letter to Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, advocating for its realization. In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, a bold vision is taking shape, a vision that aims to transform the way people travel between the bustling cities of Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver. Cascadia High-Speed Rail, an ambitious proposal still in its infancy, has captured the imagination of not only regional leaders but also one of the tech industry's giants, Microsoft. Imagine a future where fans of the Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timbers can zip between matches on a high-speed train, completing their journey in under an hour. This is just one glimpse of how this rail project could redefine the Cascadia mega region and enhance connectivity in a region teeming with opportunities. Currently, traveling between these cities is often marred by traffic congestion, inefficient short-haul flights, or the sluggish pace of existing rail services. With a population of 10 million people and an expected increase of 3.5 million by 2050, the Pacific Northwest urgently requires better transportation connections. High-speed trains capable of reliably completing these journeys in under an hour could revolutionize various aspects of life in the region, from sports events and remote work to expanding the reach of cultural venues and facilitating business meetings. The seeds of this transformative project were sown during the Cascadia Rail Summit, a pivotal event held at Microsoft's headquarters in Redmond, Washington. Engineers, manufacturers, sales representatives, train operators, and transportation managers from global rail industry hubs like France and Spain convened here with a singular purpose: to explore the business potential of a high-speed rail line in the Pacific Northwest. The United States, despite being a developed nation, has lagged behind when it comes to passenger rail, especially high-speed rail. In Europe and Asia, high-speed trains have become a competitive alternative to short-haul flights for journeys under 500 miles. Examples like the Paris-Lyon and Madrid-Barcelona routes showcase how trains have successfully carved into aviation's market share. The Pacific Northwest, with its three major cities relatively close in proximity, presents an ideal opportunity for a similar high-speed rail connection. However, many high-speed rail projects across the United States have faced setbacks and challenges. The Pacific Northwest hopes to break this trend and is fortunate to have a powerful ally, Microsoft. Former Washington Governor Christine Gregoire, who now leads the CEO Roundtable Challenge Seattle, credits Microsoft as a driving force behind the audacious vision of Cascadia High-Speed Rail. Microsoft's involvement, coupled with contributions from the Washington State Legislature, the British Columbia Legislature, and the Oregon Department of Transportation, has enabled the preparation of feasibility studies and business case analyses, a critical step in turning this vision into reality. The proposed rail route would span 316 miles, just slightly shorter than Italy's high-speed service connecting Rome, Bologna, and Milan. While Italy's route offers both private and state-run high-speed trains, the journey between its two main cities takes about 3 hours. In contrast, the Acela service between Washington, Philadelphia, and New York, though shorter, has been steadily gaining market share from shuttle flights. Seattle and Vancouver, separated by a mere 120 miles, face their own transportation challenges. The existing Amtrak Cascades train, which traverses tracks owned by freight company BNSF, is scenic but slow, often subject to delays caused by freight trains sharing the same tracks. Additionally, the service is infrequent, with only 2 round trips per day. Flying between these cities is both expensive and time-consuming, making the journey less appealing. Consequently, the two cities, despite their close proximity, have traditionally operated as if they were continents apart, lacking the connectivity one might expect. However, the desire for increased connectivity is palpable. WeWork offers a Cascadia passport, granting access to locations across Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, catering to teams working along this corridor. Vancouver-based startups are securing venture capital from south of the border. Even established companies like Portland's Vigor Industrial have significant operations in Seattle. For Microsoft, the proximity of an international gateway city, Vancouver, holds potential. The company opened a software engineering office in Vancouver in 2016, capitalizing on the city's immigrant-friendly policies, especially in contrast to the Trump administration's stance on immigration. This strategic move has allowed Microsoft to tap into local talent and foster regular communication among its employees. In the words of University of Washington historian Margaret, the political reality right now is the U.S. is doing its best to shoot itself in the foot in terms of something that has been absolutely critical to its competitiveness in technology and 21st century industry generally. Given the current domestic political climate, having an escape hatch and leveraging the strengths of an international magnet city near Seattle makes sense. However, the extent of Microsoft's involvement remains a question. While there's speculation about the company potentially investing directly in the rail line through a public-private partnership, Irene Plenifish, Microsoft Government Affairs Director, suggests that operating trains would be outside the company's core competency. O'Mara offers a balanced perspective, emphasizing that some initiatives are best handled by the government due to their public nature. She believes that while Microsoft can provide moral leadership, stimulate conversations, and provide a business rationale, there are limits to what even the wealthiest tech companies can achieve. The project's scope is immense, and it should ultimately serve as a public good rather than merely a Microsoft-operated rail shuttle. The Cascadia High-Speed Rail project seeks to establish a rail link that would span from Vancouver, British Columbia, through Seattle, and down to Portland, Oregon. The proponents of this initiative argue that it has the power to revolutionize the Pacific Northwest in several key ways. First and foremost, the high-speed rail is seen as a gateway to improved job access, affordable housing, and climate-friendly initiatives. By connecting major urban centers with lightning-fast travel, it would facilitate better economic opportunities and make housing more accessible for residents. Moreover, this project aligns with climate goals by reducing the reliance on fossil fuels, contributing to shared environmental resources and promoting sustainable travel options. One of the most impressive aspects of the Cascadia High-Speed Rail is its remarkable speed. At a maximum velocity of 250 miles per hour, passengers would be able to journey from Vancouver to Portland in under 2 hours, and from Seattle to Portland in less than an hour. This remarkable pace sets it apart from other rail projects on the horizon in North America, promising unprecedented efficiency and convenience for travelers. In terms of funding, the Washington State Legislature has already taken significant steps by allocating $4 million for additional analysis and framework development. They are hopeful that the federal government will match this contribution with an additional $150 million, further propelling the project towards realization. A key driving force behind this initiative is the expected population growth in the region. By 2050, Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver are anticipated to collectively add up to 4 million more residents, pushing the total population of the Pacific Northwest beyond 13 million. The proponents argue that the high-speed rail is a strategic response to this growth, enabling people to live in less densely populated areas while still having efficient access to major cities. Beyond the practical benefits, the Democrats describe the Cascadia High-Speed Rail project as visionary. It promises to reduce emissions along the heavily trafficked Interstate 5 corridor by alleviating congestion and consequently mitigating the adverse effects of climate change caused by fossil fuel consumption. This environmental contribution aligns with the broader global efforts to combat climate change. This initiative builds upon a 2019 report that emphasized the potential for a high-speed rail network in the Pacific Northwest. The report recommended that Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia collaborate by establishing an independent body responsible for planning and eventually constructing the rail system. One of the initial challenges faced by this coordinating entity is the selection of the appropriate technology for ultra-high-speed ground transportation. Options under consideration range from traditional high-speed rail to magnetic levitation trains, and even the futuristic concept of Hyperloop technology, where passengers are transported in capsules through low air pressure tubes using electrical propulsion.